Time to talk running backs now here, specifically Cam Davis, a running back who's been committed to Florida State for several years. At the time that he was committed, Dominic Robinson, lead football analyst for Warchant.com, Florida State was 0-4 on a way to a 5-7 season 2 years ago. He says he takes pride in being committed to Florida State and believing in what they've been able to do, which is from that point of being 0-4, win a lot of football games. And so what stands out to you as a football analyst, as a scouting mind, when you see this running back committing and signing with Florida State?
So we did a breakdown of Trey Benson, and at one point I said to you, or, I said during the breakdown, like, this is just a special player. This is a special human being. Cam Davis is that. This is a special athlete. To me, this is the bell cow of the class.
Mm-hmm.
And now I do have to put a disclaimer. I met Cam when he was 11. Cam is a phenomenal baseball player also. And I met his family, and I was trying to get him to be a part of, I was running a USA Baseball, and I wanted him to come, try out for USA Baseball, because I thought that highly of him. So I've been following Cam for a long time. Obviously, this is way before Florida State recruited him. And when he committed to Florida State, I was absolutely ecstatic. But this is a special player. You watch his highlights and you're going, he's lining up at quarterback. And right away, that tells me a heck of a lot. Here's a guy who's willing to play another position. He's sacrificing for the team, not the position he's going to play, in college and maybe beyond. Here's a guy who has to learn an offense. Here's a guy who has to process information on a way higher level than just a running back or just a wide out or just a defensive back. When you have to process information like a quarterback, it makes me think of Kevin Durant in basketball. I talk about this a lot. Kevin Durant is so skilled at what he does now or can do now because he wasn't always the thing that he became, which is a 6'10" freak. But he wasn't a 6'10" freak, so he had to become hyper aware of the ability to handle the ball and get to certain spots on the floor and shoot the ball in a way. And then he became 6'10", and now he's got these things, these attributes about him that are a freak. And he's a freak athlete. Well, to me, this is where Cam is, for him to have to play quarterback for a whole season for a team, carry that team, all of the things that he has to process as being a quarterback. And, here he is, pocket breaks down. He's playing quarterback for the game winner, winning a game for his team. It just makes me think about, again, these are the types of guys that you want. You want to build your program around guys like this who have such a vast array of tools that they're not just one particular thing. Because when things break down, I need you to just be an athlete and make a play for us. And it's not always about like, who makes good, cuts on outside zone. Is that important? Yes, don't get me wrong. But sometimes the thing that's coached in the film room that I told you to do isn't there. The normal cut on outside zone isn't there the way that I taught it. And I need you to just make a play and be an athlete. And when you have a guy who did that throughout his whole high school career, who is truly an athlete, and again, like I said, he's got phenomenal baseball skills also. That tells me a lot about the makeup of the player and what he can potentially be going down the road as he begins to specialize and become a running back, or just a position player, whatever position that is.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense, Dominic, that when he visits Florida State, there's a presence about Cam Davis. When you're a quarterback, you're forced into that role, and he embraces it. And it's unique for a running back to come in his final official visit weekend this past weekend in Tallahassee and say, I want to be a leader. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to lead when I get on campus. And Cam Davis has a versatile skill set as it pertains to his running skills. What do you see here beyond the speed? This guy looks like he's not afraid of contact as much as he's willing to go out and break it away in the open field.
Yeah, he's a bully with the ball, man. He's a bully with the ball. You're not going to bring him down with one guy. He's elusive. And then again, like I said, when you have to play quarterback, there's angles that are a little bit different in terms of escaping. So you have to be a little bit more creative with your ball carrying. You don't have a predetermined path like you do when you're running counter or when you're running outside zone. So, adding that perception and action coupling where I have to perceive where a defender is and then do something, that's all running back play is, and so that skill for him will be incredibly sharp in comparison to a guy who maybe has been running counter and the coach has been telling him, hey, your path is B gap. And then when that's not there, now that guy, sort of mentally breaks down because his brain isn't used to doing that gymnastics. Cam will be able to run the ball well, obviously, when the play is blocked well and it is there. But, where you're really talking about getting meat on the bone is what do you do when the play it wasn't called perfectly, when we're not in the perfect formation, when they are +1 in the box. And that's what I see with Cam is like this physicality and then this ability to, be creative with the ball in his hands is going to be a heck of an attribute.
So let's take a look at the prospect rating scale where Dominic Robinson talks about readiness for the college football game. I will note before Dominic taking this away, he's listed at 210 pounds already coming out of high school at 5'9.5". This is going to be a wrecking ball who has elusive skills to him as well. But Dominic, just in terms of looking at these numbers and the readiness, what do you think Cam Davis is all about at the collegiate level?
Yeah, he's the beast in the weight room too, man. The dude is strong as an ox. And he was like that at 11. He was just a man amongst boys. I would say Cam fits probably at the top of the class in terms of this rating scale at about a 3.25. I don't know that he'll necessarily be at a 3.5 where he's pushing to start midseason, but I definitely see him getting a good share of the carries from his first day on campus. Week 1, I would not be shocked if we check a box score and Cam has 8 to 10 carries and 1 or 2 catches out of the backfield. That wouldn't surprise me at all. He's clearly an instant contributor. He's clearly ready to play. Physically, I don't see that there's anything that will hold him back. And then mentally, with him being a quarterback, I would imagine him picking up on the offense shouldn't be, a real hurdle for him. So I see this guy as the guy that's going to be, pushing to start. And I would say you can almost, ink him in as a starter year 2, pretty much.
Cam Davis, one of the newest signees for Florida State. This is a series we're doing with Warchant analyst, football analyst Dominic Robinson, where we're breaking down the top members of the 2024, recruiting class. For more information on these other players, stay with the channel, Warchant TV. Hit the subscribe button underneath, hit the like button underneath the video as well, and find the rest of these fine videos where we're breaking down players from wide receivers, defensive backs, quarterbacks, you name it. We've got it here on Warchant TV. The running back is in the fold. His name is Cam Davis. We're going to be excited to watch him and the Garnet and Gold. For Dominic, I'm Tom. We'll talk to you next time on Warchant TV.